Fun Fishing is brought to you by Vance's Tackle and by Rainbow Plastics, available at your local tackle store.
Alan, remember when I had the Superman shirt on and I tried out fishing?
Oh yeah, it didn't work.
Well, look at this.
You gotta be kidding me. Fun fishing, plus you got it on backwards. Right, yeah, fish on!
Fishing is fun, but catching fish is funner.
Oh, fish tried to attack me.
Winter, spring, or summer. From the Sacramento River to the San Francisco Bay, we're gonna show you how to catch some fish today. Salmon, bass, or trout, halibut's what it's all about. Stripers on the Delta, Alan and Warren will help ya.
Stand like a man, now quit standing like a woman. Hey! Oh no! You need help! I got him! Here, give me your... It slipped! It slipped!
Whoa!
You gotta be kidding me. It's on!
Fishing is fun, but hooking is the only way. We're gonna show you how to catch some fish today.
Welcome to Fun Fishing. I'm Warren Trumbley.
Hi, I'm Alan Fong. We're down in the Delta, and we're gonna do some frog fishing.
Frog fishing. I brought the red twine to tie on the hook,
Yeah, go ahead.
and because the frogs jump on it, and then you catch the frogs.
You fish for frogs, and I'll fish for bass.
Oh.
I'll be using these guys.
Oh, well,
Don't touch mine.
that's a rubber frog.
That's right.
Oh, so we're bass fishing.
I'm bass fishing.
We're not frog fishing for frogs.
No, you might be, but I'm not.
Okay.
We'll be fishing for bass with these rubber frogs on top of the mats where those bass live. They live underneath these mats, this slimy green stuff.
Okay.
They spend the whole summer under there. Everything's there for them.
Okay.
It's actually a living plant.
Okay.
That's why they go under. It gives oxygen.
All right.
And as you'll see, the bass are real dark color.
In the time of the year that we
Well,
fish for
usually
this,
summer, all the way through the fall.
all the way through the fall, and so you fish on the top of these mats.
Yep.
Okay.
Just pretend there's a frog on there. That's what they eat.
Okay. Sounds like fun fishing. Let's go fishing.
Let's go. All right. You know how you can tell a good mat from a bad mat?
The holes in it?
Yeah. See all those holes? That's where the fish come up and ate something, probably yesterday or yesterday evening.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is these bass, they live under this stuff.
They
Just
do.
like they would under a tree or something. That's why you're going to find the best time to go frog fishing is in the middle of the afternoon when the sun's pounding on it real hard,
Uh-huh.
because what happens is this plant life gives oxygen. And what happens, the fish become more active. Fish on!
Oh-ho!
Got a frogfish, finally.
All right. Looks like a moss fish to me.
Like a ball moss, right?
Yeah.
This is what it's all about, folks. Frogging in the moss.
Yes. Oh,
Look at that.
that's a nice little fish.
And see that? He engulfed that frog.
You swallow the whole thing?
Swallowed it.
Gee.
Caught him on the frog.
Yep. It's a frog. Got him. I got a frog.
You got him?
I got a frog.
You sure do. Look what he got. Oh.
See? I told you I'd be frog fishing.
Yeah, you are.
Let me go, let me go.
You're frog fishing, all right.
Oh,
Hey, Warren, what you got?
yeah, right. Can you believe this, huh?
You're frogging and I'm bassing.
Yeah, this is frog fishing. Oh,
Another frogfish. Another froggy.
all right.
No monsters yet, but I will. you hook one in here, you just gotta, hey, he hit it, shake it, keep shaking it. You see him suck it? Oh, he hit it again. Oh, did you see that jump?
Oh,
You see your lure pop up in the air?
yeah.
That fish hit it. I mean, we've proven it over and over and over that the best time to fish these mats is in the middle of the afternoon when the sun's pounding up, because it's giving out more oxygen. Otherwise, the fish are just kind of numb, dumb, you know.
Did you see that?
Yeah. And then sometimes when you're reeling, sometimes I like to, you be throwing it on the top of this stuff and you're pretending you're fishing a topwater lure. So just let it sit there, or pop it, move it a little bit. Sometimes they like it constantly moving. Sometimes they like it stopped.
Yeah, fish on. Whoa.
All right, good one. Got him?
Yeah.
Keep pulling. Just reel. Nice one. Reel.
I got a moss ball. I think there's a fish in there somewhere.
You got him?
Yeah.
No, you lost
I
him.
lost him.
You lost him.
Oh man, you believe that, huh? Oh. Yep.
You lost him. Ah. You see him attack it?
Yeah.
Watch, I'll get him again. He's sitting right there.
Now who's fishing for frogs?
He's like 6 inches to the right of that. I got him! Oh, fish! You see that frog?
I can't believe that.
I was fishing for
A
I was
frog and
fishing
caught a
for a
fish.
frog, and the fish jumped up and blew up. I got him. Look at that.
Is there a fish in there?
Yeah. See him? I got some. Let's see. Oh,
That's a nice fish. Good sized bass.
there he is, folks. Underneath all this cover.
You got me.
There's my bass. You know what? There was a frog sitting right there, and he was trying to eat my rubber frog, and all of a sudden this bass just came out of the water and ate it. So he took mine rather than the real one. He's like 6 inches to the right of that. I got him! Oh, fish! You see that frog?
I can't believe that.
Typical frogfish. See how dark in color it is?
Yeah.
But this guy took my fake one rather than the real one, because the real one was right next to it. Put away.
Alan, can you tell us a little bit about the equipment we're using and why we're using it?
Yeah, you need something really stiff. The rod's, yours is 7. I like 7.5 because it gives me more leverage. And line rating, you want, this is actually a flipping stick
Okay.
at a 1-piece one, and it's rated up to like 25, 30 pound tests.
Okay.
And you just want to use your regular bait casting reel. I use 65-pound braid when I'm throwing these frogs. You want to have braid on here. You can't use mono. You won't land anything.
Why is that?
Because you got to drag them out. You know how you were losing them all earlier?
Yeah.
And plus, I was looking at your frog, and you got a snap on there, and you shouldn't
Okay.
put a snap.
Or shouldn't?
No, because that thing will just catch weeds.
Okay.
You want to tie direct right to the top of the frog
Okay.
with no snap, and you won't get as much weeds.
Now you tell me after half a day of fishing. Okay.
Can't
All
tell
right.
you everything.
I
Watch
guess
the show,
not.
you learn it.
All right. So we use a real stiff
Got to
rod.
be really stiff. Stiffer the
Okay.
better.
Okay. And then the bait casting reel, 65-pound braid.
65 braid,
Okay.
and you're ready to go frogging.
Okay. And then how about the frog? Anything particular on the frogs that we need to?
These are just your tournament frogs. There's all kinds on the market. They all work really good because half the time it doesn't matter what color. I usually use a color that I can see because when you throw it on top of the mats, it doesn't go down. They don't see any color. They just see movement of an object going across there, and then they go and hit it. And they blast right through there to get it. So they're not really looking at colors. So I usually just pick one that I can see.
Okay. All right. And then hooks. Hooks are already in them, all ready to go?
Yeah, most of them, I'll change them out to owners or Gamakatsus. But a lot of the companies now are starting to put them in them as stock. And when you're fishing the heavy mats like we were, you know, where it looks like all heavy moss, I usually turn it around and drop a couple split shot in the back.
In the back. Now that's, and where do you?
Right where the hook comes out.
Oh, okay.
I usually just spin it around with the hook on this side like this and just drop them in that hole.
Drop a split shot in there, and what does that do?
Two of them, it makes the frog ride lower in the moss. So you know how this morning that one that hit yours, it went toot and it flew up?
Kicked it out, yeah.
Because he couldn't, you know, when he hit it, try to go through the moss, your frog just flies.
Okay.
Or if you put, sometimes I'll put 2 or 3, just depends. And then when I'm riding like this, when they hit it, gives them an extra second to grab it.
Okay.
So putting weight in them works really good, but when you fish open water, they sink. So you don't want to do it. You want to use the ones with the sinkers for mats and then the ones without for open water.
So you have 2 different configurations, one for open water and one for mats.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Pretty easy.
Let's get to frog fishing.
Okay, let's go
All
back
right.
and get some more. Fish on!
Oh!
I was throwing in there by that duck, playing with the duck. And look what I got.
Oh.
Hey, you got one too. You just got to hit shake it. Warren just got a blast too. Oh. Boy, ain't this something. Boy, trying to find these fish through all this mess after you hook one, bringing in all the weeds. This guy was sitting in there, right there by those ducks. Just came up and popped it.
Yeah, frogfish.
You ain't got him yet. Oh! Hey, Warren, what you got?
This time it's not just a frog.
You got a frog bass?
Yep.
Boy, did he want that or what?
He sure did.
Wow,
But finally caught a fish.
about time.
Yeah, really. Oh, fun fishing.
Frogfish. Ah! Another frog bass.
Well, that's a black one too, isn't it?
You notice that?
Dark,
Yeah,
really
you know
dark. Why?
Because they live underneath the mats and they never get any sunlight. You notice the water's real clear in here? So the weed filtration, the water is crystal clear, and the fish are always dark. That's how, like when I was fishing tournaments, the guys would come to weigh in, and if their fish are all black, I know where they're getting them, under the mats on frogs.
Sneaky, don't tell anyone about that.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
It don't matter anymore because I don't fish tournaments.
There you go. Alan, can you explain about the tackle and the equipment that we're using today?
Yeah, we're throwing mostly frogs. There's all kinds of manufacturers that make them, and you know they all got the double hook. And then also I put split shot in them, like I told you, to keep the lure lower into the moss.
Yes.
And you actually get more strikes because they can see it better. I got many different colors.
Is this like for girly fish or?
That's a good color. I catch a lot of them on it.
You do? You believe that?
You know why? Because when you're fishing on top of that grass, they can't see it. They just go by movement.
Oh, okay.
On top of the mats, I like to use the frogs. What I like to tell you is just pretend you're fishing open water with top water. You know how you let it sit there and don't just reel it in?
Yeah.
Do the same thing on the mats. Because those frogs,
kind of dead stick it?
Yeah, when you see a frog, he doesn't go skimming across the top of the water. He takes his time because he doesn't want to get eaten. And you remember this morning, that one, that frog that jumped on my lure?
Yeah.
I threw it in there. And I think why he didn't go after it, maybe he sensed that there's someone underneath him dangerous. Because remember, I was only like a foot away from him.
Yeah.
And normally they like that one 8-year frog, because
Right.
they do eat the frogs. And all of a sudden, whoosh, and that bass came up and ate my lure.
Yeah.
I fooled them better than the real thing on these
Okay.
frogs.
Yes.
If you're fishing a lot of open water, if you trim these down about maybe a third of these rubber off, it'll walk better.
Oh,
So
really?
you can make it zigzag.
Okay. All right. Well, as we get out here fishing, let's talk a little bit about the pads and
Okay.
what we can find and what's a good pad and what isn't.
Okay. All right.
Get him!
Got him!
Reel
Got him!
now, reel!
Got him!
Just
Got him!
point it and reel.
Yeah.
It's reel. Don't pull, reel.
Told you wouldn't land it.
Yeah, I will.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Keep pulling. Just pull. Don't waste it. Just reel. Point it and reel. There you go. Just like that. You got
Oh,
it.
man. You don't use a rod at all, do you?
Just point it and pull.
Oh.
Keep pulling.
I'm pulling.
Oh, man, you made me eat my words.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, he does got it. Watch out. Don't break your tip.
I don't want to break the tip, but I don't want to bring this in the new boat. This is a great boat we got from Copa McFeeders, this new
Yeah.
boat. And
It's a new.
Woo!
There you go. You got him. I can't believe it. I missed him, and he caught him. He did something.
look at that, it's just catch
You
and
lost him
release.
now.
Maybe lost him now. There we go. Just easier to get him off the hook that way. Oh,
Isn't that
fun
something?
fishing. Woo!
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
That's frog fishing. You can't use a pole, can you?
Nope.
You have to use a reel.
It's real.
Wow. That's a lot of work getting him in, but hey,
Yeah, it's
Great
fun.
fish.
See how dark he is?
yeah.
Living under that mat. They don't even come out for air.
No, look at that. Wow.
Live under that mat. They stay dark. Very
Yeah.
pretty fish.
Yeah.
Maybe
That-
eat my words. I missed him, and then I told him he's going to lose it if he hooks him.
And I hooked him and,
And he brought him in.
yeah. Well, not only that is, I didn't want to get the inside of this new boat dirty, huh?
Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, a lot of room.
So you're just kind of hopping it along, aren't you?
Different speeds. Usually when I'll pop it along and just to try to get their attention. And then where I think I might get ambushed, then I'll stop and let it sit there.
And then I'm noticing as we do this, we're leaving lines in the,
Yeah, that's
In the
one way
map.
to, when you're fishing, especially like a tournament angler,
uh-huh.
you watch and you see all these lines, and then you see the line, and all of a sudden a wide path,
Right.
you got one. So
Well-
the guy dragged one out of there.
Oh, okay, so that opens it up.
Yeah, it opens
Yeah.
it up.
I notice there are holes out here too.
All
in the
them
middle
little
of it.
holes that you see are there where the bass from the night before coming up blowing through that.
Oh,
Heard something.
yeah. Come on, reel that out. Whew. Wow. Wow, let me get out of the way.
There's a nice one.
That's a gorgeous fish. That's almost as big as the one I caught.
This clump of weeds, is bigger than the one you got right there.
Can you believe that? I'm glad you're not competitive, Alan.
Nope.
That's fun fishing.
That's a northern bass.
Mm-hmm.
See, the way you can tell they're northern is they got no black dots.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know how the ones down at the other side of the delta have all those black, real distinctive dark?
Mm-hmm.
They're Florida.
Okay.
This is a real northern.
Okay. Wow.
Pretty fish. You hook 10 of them in a row, I guarantee you'd be tired. I got another one, fish on. Yeah, fish on. Yeah.
Oh,
Come on, baby, ski them in. This is how you got to bring them in, folks. Ski them right in, otherwise you don't get them in. Did you see that catch and release? He waited all the way to get in the boat to jump off.
well, Alan,
Yeah.
fun fishing.
you got the frog, huh?
Yeah, really. All different types of frogs now.
Yep, we had a good day. Caught a lot of bass.
Uh-huh.
Missed a lot, but we caught a lot too.
Well, you were telling me that that's kind of the nature
That's
of
normal.
frog
Yeah,
fishing.
That's normal.
They hit and they hit and
Yeah.
hit. They don't always get hooked very well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's why I told you, if you hooked 10 in a row, you'd be tired. You couldn't pull them in. They're hard to pull in.
Oh, no. We've had a great day. And the summertime is good. The warmer, the hotter the day.
The hotter, the better. The 100-degree days are the awesome days.
Okay, in the middle of the day.
Middle of the day when the sun's pounding right on top of them mats.
Oh, man, that just sounds great.
It's
doesn't
perfect. It's fun.
it? Hey,
It's
so,
a blast.
yeah. So you know how to do it?
Hope you learned.
Yeah. Come back and join us next week on
Fun fishing.
Fun fishing.
Fishing is fun, but catching fish is funner. Whether it's autumn, winter, spring, or summer. From the Sacramento River to the San Francisco Bay, we're gonna show you how to get some fish today. Salmon, bass, or trout, halibut's what it's all about. Stripers on the Delta, Allen and Warren will help ya.
Our camera guy was out fishing the other day and he fell out of the boat. He couldn't get back in. The best way to do it is swim back to the back of the boat.
Okay.
Put your feet on there. That trim button right here. Right here. Trim it up. There you go. Climb in. That's how you get back in the boat if you ever had to. Now, if he could do it, anybody could do it. Use your motor, trim it back up, and you just climb right in.
Alan! Alan, wait for me! Hey!
Fishing is fun, but hooking is the only way. We're gonna show you how to catch some fish today.